Germany appears to be inching closer to approving the delivery of advanced tanks to Ukraine. Following intense pressure from its allies, Germany appears to be on the verge of authorizing deliveries of high-tech Leopard 2 main battle tanks, which Ukraine and its most significant Western backers hope will bolster Kyiv's fight against Russian invaders. German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock stated over the weekend that Berlin would not stand in the way if Poland, arguably Ukraine's most vocal supporter among European Union neighbors, wished to dispatch Leopard 2 tanks from its arsenal across the border into Ukraine. Germany does not rule out the possibility of supplying these tanks to Ukraine, but cautions that the repercussions of such a move must be carefully considered. Consider what these tanks could imply for the defense of Ukraine against Russian forces. The manufacturer of the Leopard 2, Germany's Krauss-Maffei Wegmann, refers to it as the world's leading battle tank. For nearly half a century, it has combined firepower, defense, speed, and maneuverability, allowing it to adapt to a variety of combat situations. The 50-ton tank requires a crew of 4 and has a range of about 500 kilometers and maximum speeds of about 68 kilometers per hour. Its first version entered service in 1979, and there are now 4 primary variants. Its primary armament is a 120 smoothbore gun with an entirely digital fire control system. More than 2,000 German-made tanks have been deployed in more than a dozen European nations and Canada, which is a major selling point for these vehicles. More than 3,500 units have been shipped to 19 countries, according to Krauss-Maffei Wegmann. According to a recent analysis by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, a London-based global think tank, approximately 350 Leopard 2s in various configurations have been sent to Greece, while Poland has approximately 250 Leopard 2s in various configurations. In operation or storage in Finland, there are 200 analysts at the International Institute for Strategic Studies estimated that approximately 100 Leopard 2 tanks would be needed to have a significant impact on the combat in Ukraine's conflict with Russia. Some European Union leaders support the Ukrainian Minister of Defense's demand for 300 tanks. "We need a fleet of 300 tanks," Luxembourg's Foreign Minister Jean Asselborn said on Monday in Brussels, alluding to the widespread deployment of Leopards across Europe and the need for synchronous armament, that is, weapons that can operate in unison. It is not as simple to get Leopards into Ukrainian hands as it is to roll them across the border from acquaintances in Western Europe. The International Institute for Strategic Studies estimates that 3 to 6 weeks of training would be required for operating crews and support personnel to attain a basic level of proficiency. Rolf Raffs, the director of the Panzer Museum in Munster, Germany, stated that experienced Ukrainian tank crews would likely be able to learn to operate the Leopard 2 quickly, and training could be streamlined to concentrate on essential knowledge. Is it necessary to utilize 100% of the potential, or is it sufficient to utilize 80% in half the time? Ukrainians will undoubtedly choose option B, he stated. Nearly 100 Stryker combat vehicles and at least 50 Bradley armored vehicles are anticipated to be included in the U.S.'s upcoming new package of military aid. However, the Abrams tanks, which U.S. officials say have complex maintenance requirements and may not be a good match, will not be included. Allies and military analysts assert that because the Leopard 2 runs on diesel rather than jet fuel like the M1 Abrams, it is easier to operate and requires less training. The United Kingdom announced this month that it will send Challenger 2 tanks to the Ukrainian military, while the Czech Republic and Poland have provided T-72 tanks from the Soviet era. President Emmanuel Macron of France stated on Sunday that he had asked his defense minister to work on the concept of sending some of France's Leclerc battle tanks to Ukraine. Even if contemporary Western MBDs are superior to their Russian counterparts, donor nations must be prepared for losses, according to Raths. The Leopard 2 is an offensive weapon that will be used in intense conflicts, he said. In these tanks, vehicles will be destroyed, and humans will perish.